The bad one. They don't care.
One.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Point of View. Today, we're joined by media personality Adugo. How are you, beautiful?
Doing well. Thank you for having me, ladies.
No, welcome. And we're also welcoming Shirley back to the show, who is no guest. You're always here, right, Shirley? We love having you.
She practically moved in.
No, for real.
At this point, yeah.
Coming up on today's show, Wendy Williams' story is keeps unfolding, and we have the latest updates. And later in Mind, Body, and Soul, a new survey shows that kids staying home to raise kids might be that moms. I'm so sorry. Where's my brain today? That parents staying home to raise kids may be more stressful than going to work. So get comfortable, join the discussion. You're watching POV. In a recent interview, former talk show host Wendy Williams accused her son of misusing her finances without her knowledge, which ultimately contributed to her current guardianship arrangement. She claims he withdrew large sums of money, leading Wells Fargo to freeze all of her accounts in 2022. Let's take a look at this clip.
My son, he overstepped his boundaries in terms of me. You understand? He overstepped his boundaries, and he was inappropriately using my money without telling me crap about it. Like, is he stealing from me? Look, all I know is that in terms of what I'm dealing with, and that this is still going on, because, that's when my money got frozen at Wells Fargo. Thank God. No more money stealing from my son and the other people.
Wow. Am I the only one that thinks it is so sad seeing Wendy in that window?
Locked up like that.
Oh my God, that is such a sight to see. How do we feel about this? I know that it's constantly progressing. Tubi just dropped a video with TMZ, documentary about it. So what are y'all thoughts?
It's kind of actually sad to see. It just reminds me of like elder abuse, how quickly people will fall into elder abuse the moment they know that you're like not competent or that you've lost the ability to do something. Mm-hmm. And when, now she seems to have improved with her current issues. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, wow, y'all switch up real quick.
And apparently it was a wrong diagnosis. The frontal lobe dementia or whatever they got. Apparently that was an incorrect diagnosis, and it's all about her money. So,
Wow, so she don't got dementia.
Apparently she doesn't. And
That is a sane woman, and they try to silence her.
Not one doctor, I believe, has visited her while she's there.
Wow.
So how do we know?
I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think her son was stealing from her.
I agree.
I think so. I think he probably thought that she was going to die, or that she wasn't going to remember who she actually was. One day, she just wasn't going to remember, and she wasn't going to know that she had so much money in the bank. He could just take, and do what he want to do.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. He probably did believe that maybe she had dementia.
She was just going to forget.
Yeah, I mean, because we all thought that she had dementia.
Yeah. Now, she
right?
did look sick.
No, something was going on, but, you know, it could have been induced by all the trauma she went through from her ex-husband and, and then drinking, self-medicating, all of those things. But clearly it wasn't dementia because, they say that frontal lobe dementia only gets worse. So the way that, that she's progressing and getting better, like, clearly it's the wrong diagnosis. So I'm interested to see, what is going to happen here, because I think she's getting another diagnosis on Tuesday coming up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We'll keep the people informed.
Yeah. And then her lawyer has picked this, what are the people that come and do the evaluation?
A neurologist?
I don't know if it's neurologist,
okay.
but yeah, one of them specialists. Okay. So could you guys imagine being in a situation where you can't even trust your own son?
And she doesn't want to admit it. You know how sad she is. And she doesn't want.
Because she had just went to his graduation. She was so excited. I mean, you can see like the joy she had. And just to come and find out that, he's like using her situation.
I don't have kids, but could y'all imagine y'all's children?
I would feel betrayed.
Oh
my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Any family member, really. Of course. If you have access to my funds and you taking my money and you're not, at least tell me.
Yeah.
At the very least, you could tell me, hey, I went and got this today.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know why I think the betrayal with her son is just not properly supporting her during this time in the whole situation.
Yeah.
And really not advocating for her. But I don't think that the betrayal is on the money end because he's a child who was spoiled his whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he doesn't have proper money management skills. And, because I read something that I think maybe it was in a documentary on some clips that I saw, where he asked for $1,500 for a boat for his birthday, I guess, to go with some friends.
Yeah.
And end up charging $132,000. And so even in my mind, I can't see Wendy Williams selling a $1,500 boat in the
But
first
is
place.
that lack of skills or just blatant bad behavior?
I think it's both.
Okay.
More bad behavior, though.
Wendy better than me. I'd be under the jail.
Seriously.
Well, listen, Wendy got to play them cards right, baby. She trying to get out the apartment.
Right.
To my under So Wendy Williams divorced her former husband, Kevin Hunter, for stepping out on their marriage and having a baby out of wedlock while using Wendy's money to support his outside family. So do we feel like, look, Kevin got these traits from his daddy? Stealing the mama money? So he really learned it.
I think
Really and
I think it's
truly,
just
I guess
access.
so.
I think it's just
It's in the
access.
DNA.
I know for sure when you have access and you feel like you're gonna lose it, you kind of hoard it. And I feel like there's a situation where she's not aware and he doesn't have to ask her for the money as much as he needs to. He can just pull it out the bank account. I will say there are some people, because I knew I was that teen. I thought I could take my mom money when I want to, as long as I wasn't like frivolously spending, like doing crazy spending on her card. I felt like I could buy a $5 burger on the card.
It's funny too, and not to compare the two, but I don't know why the comparison keeps popping up in my mind. It's making me think about the Mendez brothers. I don't know if you guys watched the movie.
yes.
And when they took their, parents' money right after they killed them and was going on all these shopping sprees and, living lavish because it's a life that they were accustomed to. And so when they were cut off, they really didn't know what to do. But through all of these trials, Wendy still says that she loves her son. And it's crazy because at church on Sunday, we were talking about agape love, which is unconditional love that, comes from the Father, God. But, they were saying that the closest version or the closest thing to agape love is a mother's love, which we see here, where, he is blatantly disrespecting her and she is just still, speaking of her undying love and admiration for her son. So I hope that they can repair that.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can get him a job and get her that $132,000 back.
Yeah, because this is sad.
No, but this next story is truly heartbreaking. On the way here, I was just crying in the car. I had a moment. I used to listen to this song, Rascal Flatts, What Hurts the Most, when my brother died years ago. And so, I was thinking about this mother and her children and all of that. So a mother named Tiana Williams, who had been living in a van with her 4 children in Detroit, is speaking out. 2 of her kids, just 9 and 2 years old, lost their lives to hypothermia when their van ran out of gas in freezing temperatures in Detroit. Even though Tatiana is grieving, she shared how she had been desperately trying to get help for months, but not a single person or resource was able to come through for her. So I was tore up.
Yeah, when I saw this story, it was really sad. I couldn't imagine losing a child like that. Being homeless already is a struggle, but having children out there with you, and then the shelters you have to pay to get into the shelters, she's barely keeping gas in the van for them to have heat. So
I couldn't imagine watching your child being homeless with you. I couldn't imagine that at all.
And she had 4 children who were homeless with her. Yeah, and it was so sad, and my heart goes out to her. I can't imagine, the pain that she's feeling. And, on one end, I don't want to jump to the other end, but I'm also going there because just kind of going, looking into this case and, as it's unfolding and we're hearing all of these, just everyone else's viewpoint. But even hearing her say at one point, she said that her children had everything except for a house. But she said they had iPhones, they had tablets, they had, video games, all of these things. And it made me think of how the state of parenting right now, where we want to pacify our children and, make them so happy that you neglect the bare necessities, because 4 children should not have iPhones, iPads. These things are not going to save their life,
Right.
but this shelter over their head could have. And so I don't want to put it all on her, because the father has also spoken out. Let's take a look at his response.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless? That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
Say, I saw it. That's what I saw, about 3 months. But she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
Doesn't he sound very cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell if he care or not.
It doesn't sound
Or
like
when
he
was the
cares
last
about her.
time? When's the last time he even saw the kids anyway?
2
If it's-
months ago.
And he
Via
FaceTimes.
FaceTime.
And he's saying that they, he didn't know they were homeless, but allegedly they've been homeless for over 2 years.
Oh my God.
Not only that, but he is currently homeless. Yes, because he's living with his new girlfriend and her kids and their parents. So he doesn't even have a place for the new family that he's with. But he did say he got the call while he was in the gym. And it just made me think of how some fathers are so detached, you know, and you have this woman that you have 3 kids with. They've been living from pillar to post, living in a car for months.
Yeah.
And you at the gym getting fined.
He must not have been with those kids since birth. He must not have built any kind of a bond with them.
The one was what, 2 and one was 9?
Okay, that's...
Yeah, but we have more discussion coming up with Girlfriend's Guide and Mind, Body, and Soul. Don't go anywhere. You're watching POV.
Thanks for tuning in on social media. It is pre-Valentine's Day. So I have a
Valentine's
question.
Eve.
All right, here we go. Valentine's Eve. And I have a question of the day. So what is a black or soul food dish that you secretly don't like?
We need to all say this in unison, because I'm looking for y'all to be in agreement with me 100%. It starts with a C.
That's
no,
it.
mine, no.
It starts with a C.
No, mine start with
It
a
does.
B.
It starts with a C.
Chitlins.
Oh, no, baby.
Dang.
Mine is black eyed peas.
peas.
Hello.
Thank you.
Come on, girl.
No. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I did not like black eyed peas for years until I made them one time. And I had someone else make them after that, but she the one told me how to make them. It was fine.
What is the secret ingredient then?
It was
Because
just-
they taste like nothing.
No, I mean you
and
have,
crunchy.
you have to season it up with onions and seasonings and all those
What we
things.
not gonna do is say we don't like chitlins. Chitterlings?
You
we
eat
like-
chitlins, Joni?
I eat chitterlings.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I like chitterlings.
Yeah.
I'm judging
I like
you.
chitterlings too.
You eat chitlins?
Y'all not
I
black.
gotta go. There's
Y'all are
no
not
room.
black.
There's no
Y'all are
room
not
at me.
black.
There's no room at
There's no room for you at the table.
I like black. Listen,
I'm a little country girl. We love a good
if
chitlin.
y'all
I'm
have
an African. We eat meat.
Yeah.
You eat
Every kind
chitlin
of
soup?
meat.
yes.
It's very
Tyler,
lovely.
it's just you, baby.
I don't
It's just
trust y'all.
you.
I love the texture.
If y'all have a black or soul
I ain't
food
living.
dish that
Okay.
you secretly hate, please drop it down in our comments. We look forward to seeing what y'all really, really don't like, but y'all might still agree with at the table. And we'll be back to POV right now.
Chitlins. I'm judging you.
Ladies,
Welcome back. It's that time of the show where we talk about all things love, life, relationships, and everything in between. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. So Candy Burris, who many of us know from Real Housewives of Atlanta or the group Escape, recently had an interesting conversation on her new talk series, Generation Face Off, with her daughter Riley and Mama Joyce. We love Mama Joyce. The topic was women's weight and whether it's ever okay to bring it up. Let's take a look.
Is it ever okay to ask a woman's weight?
Well, yeah, I know y'all two love to talk about body.
You know, you're going to try to make me sound terrible, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I don't even do as much to you or say as much to you about your weight as my mom used to say to me as I was growing up as a kid.
So somebody else would not say that to you.
Exactly. And I start getting self-conscious.
You don't wait till somebody get hit by a car. You pull them out from in front of the car before they get hit.
Is it ever okay to ask?
My question is, growing up, were you guys as parents tough on you about your weight?
No.
No, my family was twigs.
No.
Everybody was twigs. There was nothing to talk about other than why we don't eat enough,
Yeah.
why we don't eat more.
Yeah.
But that's still about weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but mostly when people talk about weight, it's how big you are.
Yeah, my culture though, it's different. My culture being West African, they'll tell you right off the bat. You'll see someone you haven't seen. Oh, look at you, you're fat. Simple, and it's not an insult. It's just I've made an observation that you are fat.
Intriguing.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, no. In the
Wow.
Haitian community, you get picked on for being too small and you get picked on for being too big. I happen to be both. I was like almost anorexic, and then out of nowhere, God decided to give me hips, butts, thighs, all of it at one time. And they're like, oh my gosh, you must be pregnant. It's so traumatic. I spent probably most of my young adulthood with people assuming the worst case scenario without realizing that weight.
Not being pregnant
It
is the
just
worst.
literally the worst case scenario was my weight gain was because of pregnancy. Like your hips are spreading because you're being sexually intimate. Your breasts are growing because you're having sex. You didn't have anything. Kind of crazy. It was like, dang, I can't win. When I'm too skinny, then now
you got butt.
I'm
Right,
getting
and it's like
big.
y'all the one brought me over here to America with all the MSG.
So what's the problem? What's the real problem?
And I don't understand with us, it's like our portion sizes are so large.
So what did
We'll
you
have-
expect?
Exactly. Like you'll have a plate about, a regular sized dinner plate, and you know how there's that little center circle? The food will be on the edge of the plate, just falling off. There'll be meat piled, everything. And that's normal. And if you don't eat it, it's rude. So I don't understand. I don't understand.
My family, they were very weight conscious too. You know, similarly, my grandmother used to always say when I was younger and super skinny, like, "Oh, don't go outside. The wind is gonna blow you away."
Oh, wow.
Like literally, but we thought it
heard
was
that
a joke.
joke.
I didn't mind,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then the second I started gaining weight, and it was always, "Are you pregnant?" I done had about 15 babies in their eyes. Literally 15 pregnancies. But it was so funny because the other day my stepdaughter was over and I came, in from the show and she was like, Taya, you look just like an almond mom. And I didn't know do y'all know what an almond mom is? So I didn't know what an almond mom. I guess it's something like on TikTok where like the moms are super food conscious and they watch what everyone eats. And so, you'll go out and your mom's eating a carrot and like one grape at the restaurant.
Like pre-almond.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I'm not an almond mom. And as I started going down TikTok, I'm like, dang, I am an almond mom. Yes, but if you were with your partner and they begin to gain weight, how would you address the situation?
I would tell them straight up.
Straight up.
The moment I see it. Because you're my partner. I'm going to go ahead and let you know. Because I would hope you let me know, like, hey, babe, you adding on a few pounds.
I would introduce something, like maybe we could work out together, start going to I would make it so we're working out. I wouldn't bring up their actual weight, though, just to be conscious of it.
Yeah, I
would
get
just try
that.
to,
That's more of a soft
or
weight.
introduce healthy foods into our diet, things like that.
When I think about women, a lot of times people assume that the weight gain when it comes to women is associated with food and working out. And so I don't bring those two up because women gain weight simply because their hormones are out of whack, right? So I would be straight. I've been straightforward with every person in my life, whether you're a man or a woman. I literally will say, you're gaining weight. Take it from me. Don't wait until it's out of hand. Start now. Whatever the issue is, start now. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
So
some
you literally
people
don't know
be
what
depressed
it
and
is.
just eat their body away.
Right.
Yeah, in a relationship though, I'm going right in for the kill because if you gaining weight, baby, and we eating the same food, I'm not mine yet, but I'm next.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, go ahead.
If it's a
sorry.
partnership, yeah. But if it was a relationship between you and your child, though, how would you?
What about your girlfriend? You see your girlfriend gaining weight?
No,
But if you saw
They
your
go tell your
child gaining
friend.
weight, well,
If I see
Like
my
they're
child
snacking
gaining
too
weight,
much.
I would, try to get them to be more active and, eat less junk food,
Yeah.
things like that. But, I'm a little bit critical, so I may be the wrong one to ask because I always want to put my best foot forward. And so I, tend to measure the people in my life by that same standard, no matter what our sizes are. You could be a stick, or you could, be a little fluffy, but just what's comfortable, for yourself. And so everybody kind of has that area where they feel like this is big as I want to get, or this is small as I want to get.
Yeah.
And so once I know them, I kind of try to hold them accountable, because if I don't, we're going to go out and take pictures, and you're going to want me not to post none of them pictures.
I think that might be actually a really good way to bring in a more empathetic approach, which is to say, hey, I've noticed that you've put on a little bit of pounds. Is this something comfortable for you? Like, are you comfortable at this weight?
I'm going to automatically feel
Say
offended.
That. When you say, are you comfortable at this weight?
No.
Once you tell me I put on
If you
pounds,
tell
I'm
me-
going to get offended.
Yeah, at that exact moment, you say, hey, girl, I see you put on some pounds.
Oof.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm so
No, hold me accountable, girl.
Yeah,
I'm all for holding accountable, but like it's also in the delivery.
That's what
that type of delivery. That's too aggressive.
What other way would you guys tell someone?
I don't know, girl, but that's too hard.
I would, say, hey, girl, let's go to the gym.
Nah, what you trying to tell me when you say let's go to the gym?
I'm feeling like I might be putting on a little bit of weight, and I would like you to join me because you might be too.
I would
maybe say it in a funny way.
Say I'm fat.
Well, you should know your friend well
that.
enough to know how to communicate with them.
Right.
You know you're going to say it in a certain way. You wouldn't say it so bluntly.
Don't call me fat.
In some cultures, they say that it's inappropriate to ask a woman her age. You guys, what do you feel about that?
I don't mind that
Me
question.
either.
Like
I
I
don't
know
mind either.
people who like are like really like scared of that question, but like I don't mind that question because I know I look so much younger than my
Oh
age.
yeah, of course.
Right. I mean, it's 16. So when people ask me my age, like I proudly tell them my age because they're always like,
21.
Oh my God,
It's
you
about
look 22.
21, 22.
Yeah, like, and I just be like, hey.
I'm not afraid of aging, so.
Me either.
Yeah, I'm just
Same.
honestly, aging has done me wonders. So I just say the answer. I know a lot of people around me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're old." I'm like, or I'm in my 30s.
Or I'm seasoned. Or
Right, and I want to say, yes, baby, I'll be 88 tomorrow.
You don't get younger. I don't know why people feel this need to remind you that hello, everyone's getting older. We're going in the same
I
direction.
don't mind saying my age. I get complimented. Like, oh my God.
Exactly.
I look a lot younger.
But now it's time for the final segment of the day. Let's get into mind, body, and soul. A new UK survey found that 31% of parents say staying home with their kids is tougher than having a 9-to-5 grind. And social media, it doesn't help. 71% feel that the pressure of perfect parenting online. Many moms turn to their own mothers for advice, but despite the chaos, 42% say parenting is their first real taste of unconditional love. What y'all think? I'm going to say, when I had my last baby, my last two, I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, I thought that I wanted to like be a stay-at-home mom. And then I realized that I do want to be a stay-at-home mom, but the kids can't stay home with me.
how are you saying?
I'm still a mom. We're
Kids
home.
gonna be.
They need to go where kids go to school, daycare, my mama's house, somewhere else.
Too much
Are we
work.
staying at home or?
I am a stay-at-home mom. The kids don't got to be home.
Correct. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But to answer the question, yeah, it's a lot harder. I believe so. You can leave at 9 to 5. You can't leave your kids.
Exactly.
No. You could take a break from the stress. But with the kids, the stress just goes over to the next day.
You said you homeschooled your daughter
For a
though,
bit,
right?
I did, and then I sent her back to school. She's in school now.
Oh, okay. But how was the homeschooling process? Like, were you working from home and
I was
teaching
working
her
from home.
too?
I was working from home and teaching her from home as well. But it was taxing because you actually have to be there and monitor them. She was younger, so you have to monitor them doing their work. It's not just letting them be free and do their work on their own. So
Yeah.
So it's harder.
So yeah. And then after that, you still want to spend time with them as far as social time, and then you got to create social activities for that's
Never ending. Exactly.
It's a lot.
Exactly.
I'll put them in a program.
So what they say, a mom's job is never done.
Never.
Yeah.
It's too
Wow.
much.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You gotta reevaluate. So they say never say what you wouldn't do, because we love to say I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do this, honey. But I thought I wanted to be home with them kids.
But you know, a lot more parents are homeschooling their kids now.
Yeah.
More
Yeah,
out of
the schools getting
necessity.
shut up.
Yeah.
Lord.
The schools are getting shut up.
Yeah, the schools
Lord.
are dangerous.
Yeah, my mom attempted to homeschool us one time, but honey, Jerry Springer was homeschooling me. Yeah, so luckily when we did start homeschooling, we were already, above academically. So when we went back, we caught right back up, baby. But wasn't no schooling going on at home. Yeah.
Wow.
But thank you guys so much for sticking with us today on Point of View. It has been an amazing show. Okay. As we know, we've been celebrating Black History Month all month long. We're with the bloopers today, y'all. Forgive us, bear with us. But today we want to take a moment to recognize Sonia Massey, who tragically lost her life when she was shot by a deputy in her own home in Illinois. While we can never replace her, we are glad to report that her family has reached a $10 million settlement more than 6 months after her passing. Thank God for that. Yeah, it's a blessing. It's not the same. It's not a life, but it's a blessing. We'll continue to honor her life and fight for justice in her memory. And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in to POV. You can catch us here weekdays only on AfroTV. See you next time.